Opening the meeting of the Greenwood Board of Zoning Appeals, and I entertain a motion to approve the minutes. A motion by Mr. King and second by Mr. Mull. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Ken, yes, we can see you. Thank you. Wonderful.
Can you hear me, Ms. Peters?
You have to do it orally and do the same. Yep. Okay, we'll do it orally. Ken? By roll call, Mr. Doctor?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Mull?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. And I'm an aye. The motion carries. Okay. Next thing, any special requests for continuances? Saying none.
There's one.
I'm sorry.
Speakers, members of the board, for the record, Russell Brown, the law firm of Clark Quinn, 320 North Green Street, Suite 1100 in Indianapolis, here on the racetrack. We actually had a meeting at 4:30 this afternoon with Councilor Gibson regarding some of the concerns that she had regarding this position. She expressed or discussed some ideas which potentially could eliminate some of the concerns she had. I can tell you that the traffic engineer, site design engineer was not at our meeting, so we are not able to say whether we could or could not commit to the discussion that we had with her. We also have been working with NDOT to try to discuss when schedule an intersection meeting about what the future of this intersection is. So we, I understand this has been on your docket for a number of months as you are ready to vote this evening. We do believe that there's two potential opportunities to eliminate at least some of the remonstrance raised at the last meeting. We would certainly welcome the opportunity to have this matter continue to attempt to address those concerns.
Okay, so you're requesting the continuance?
Yes, for 1 month to the August, the first August.
Do we have the date for that August meeting?
August 14th, I believe.
I'll confirm that. Yeah, in August we have 2 meetings, the 14th or the 28th.
He's got commitments on the second Thursday of the Monday of the month.
Yeah, so
fourth Monday of the month.
14th would be the second Monday.
And we have no conflicts or problems with the agenda?
We'll have things on the agenda. I guess it won't be any bigger than the agenda tonight.
Okay. Anything else we need to?
No.
Okay. You want to wait? We'll entertain a motion to continue this BZA 2023.
Miss Peters, before you do that, sorry, are all board members anticipated to be there that night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I am as well. So okay.
That's good to bring up. As far as I know, I plan to be here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to continue.
So moved.
Okay. All right. Motion by Mr. Canartur, second by Mr. Mull. Roll call for voting. Mr. Canartur?
Aye, yes.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Mull?
Aye.
Mr. Milburn?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so we will continue both of these to August. August the 14th. Thank you. The room. Exits here. We will go to the findings of fact for BZA 2023-024 developmental standard variance for petitioner Donna Smithers on behalf of Emerson Point LLC for 1146 North Emerson Avenue.
In consideration of the statutory criteria, I move that we adopt the written findings of fact presented Incorporating the evidence submitted into the record as our final decision, final action for variance petition number BZA 2023-024.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Mall. Roll call for voting. Mr. Knarzer,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Mr. Mall,
Aye.
Mr. Milberg,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Motion carries for the findings of fact. For the second one on the agenda, BCA 2023-025 Development Standards Variance for petitioner Bruce Hedrick on behalf of Greenwood IL-AL Investors LLC for 1301 Woodcraft Way.
Consideration of statutory criteria, I move that we adopt the written findings of facts as presented, incorporating the evidence submitted into record as our final decision and final action for variance petition number BZA 2023-025.
Motion by Mr. Moll, second by Mr. King. Okay, roll call voting. Mr. Knarzer,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Mr. Moll,
Aye.
Mr. Milberg,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Motion carries. Continuing on, old business from the floor. Seeing
So-
it.
And just to clarify, they are both continued.
Yes, and I did notice I made a mistake in the identification. Both of those were supposed to have been BCA 2022-046 and 047. I think I called them the wrong variance requests.
Thank you.
Okay, so continuing on, old business from the floor, seeing none. New business. BCA 2023-026 Development Standards Variance 324 Suncrest Drive. Petitioner Randy Richards requesting relief from section 10-03-09C fences and screens height. So paragraph 3 to allow an 8-foot fence in a residential zone. Are all the notices in order?
Notices are in order and in our file.
They will.
I move to admit Sherrod Cox UDO into the record.
Okay. All those wishing to submit evidence to present or remonstrate need to be sworn in. Anyone here for the petition? Anyone online? Okay.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you here to present on behalf of BCA 2023-026?
Yes.
And who is this?
It's hard to hear you guys on this phone, and I apologize.
I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. Can you try again?
It's hard to understand what you guys are saying. I'm trying my best. It's all good. I'm just trying to listen to what you're saying.
Okay, and you need to be sworn in. Since we can't see her.
I don't know.
She's for.
Who is this? I'm sorry. Are you?
I am Angie Mahan at 285 Christie Drive.
So maybe you're a remonstrator. That'd be
You're a remonstrator or are you presenter?
I was involved in the letter that Randy Richards had said because of the reasons why he's wanting to put up his 8-foot fence, which is.
Oh, okay.
I support that idea.
We're trying to find who is going to present on behalf of Mr. Richards.
Oh.
Is there anyone online to do that? Okay, then we should continue to next meeting, or do we have any information from him?
Have not sent out the agendas ahead of time, as well as the notice information. He actually would do the notice information for this hearing, so he would know the date of it, since he had to do the notices that this lady received. So
Right.
He is aware of the meeting date and time. I have not heard from him specifically. He's been working with one of our other planners.
So generally, we usually give them a 1 meeting continuance.
It is up to the board to decide if they would like to grant a continuance. If you are going to grant a continuance, we will make sure to get in touch with him to notify them if the meeting change.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'd say just make it fair.
Give them one try.
Give one more try.
One try,
We're
okay.
not listeners.
I need a motion
Motion. Continue.
and second, Mr. Wood. Okay, we have a motion to continue.
Are you continuing it to the 24th, the next meeting date?
Is there going to be a problem with too many on that date?
No.
Then let's continue to the next meeting, and that is on the 24th. Okay, I need a motion to continue.
Motion to continue to the next meeting.
Okay, and a second with Mr. Milborn. Okay, we need a voice vote. Okay, Mr. Knartzer,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Mr. Mull,
Aye.
Mr. Milburn,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. The motion to continue to July 24th, 2023, and staff will notify the petitioner.
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Next petition is BCA 2023-027 Development Standards Variance, 535 Woodsville Road. Petitioner Taggart on behalf of Indus and Hauser requesting relief from the following sections of the Unified Development Ordinance, section 10-03-14E, front elevations, subparagraph 1, to allow the front elevations to be reduced from 15% to 13% masonry. And second variance request for section under section 10-03-14E, front elevations, subparagraph 3, to remove the requirement for articulation. Bless you.
So,
Okay.
and really quick, that we did have the revised agenda.
Staff report.
Staff report and agenda, so it is not the oh, it is our, you're correct. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So all the notices in order
Yes, notices are in order and in our file.
and legal.
I moved it, made a certified copy of the EDO for the record.
Okay. Petitioner and remonstrators need to be sworn in. If you'll stand and raise your right hand, our secretary will swear you in. All those wishing to speak.
This is the owner's representative. I think we'll both be sworn in.
Do you swear on this person? Testimony is true to the best of your knowledge? Yes. Thank you.
Is there anyone online wishing to speak to this petition? Okay, all right. We want to go to the podium, and I'm assuming it's turned on over there. And I believe you need to start with your name and address and make sure you put that on the paper there. Did we not put that over there?
I've got a paper.
Oh, just a moment.
Thank you.
I did remember.
Hi, my name is Nick Davis. I'm with Browning Bay Architects in Indianapolis. And I'm representing our petitioner, Indus Hauser. We also have owner's representative here from Indus Hauser. Should there be any questions on the other commitments?
Is the mic on? I'm having a hard time hearing.
Is it on?
Okay, I guess it's gonna be closer. Okay, tell us why you're here.
We have a proposed project over at the Indus and Hauser campus, and we would like to seek relief from the zoning requirement for articulation on the front facade. Side elevations, we have materials. The statement of the zoning requirement is that the side materials shall be identical to the primary material of the front facade. In our case, we have added, in addition to the metal panel, we've added some limestone portions of the side facades. And the articulation item, we have one portion of the front facade of the building that is 170 feet relatively flat, whereas the zoning requirement requests that be a maximum of 150 without articulation.
Okay, now do you have your detailed statement of reasons? We need
Yes.
to read them into the record. I'll start you out. We're going to do variance number 1 to waive the requirement for articulation on a front facade. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because
I pulled the version off the line and it wasn't the updated copy, so. we have it in this. This is regarding variance number 1, the waive the requirement of articulation.
yes. So number 1 on that is the approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because
The proposed facade is comparable to a high-end office building in design, materiality, and articulation. While the letter of the standard is not met in the one facade area, the overall effect is the building which is aesthetically pleasing to the occupants and the greater community.
Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because
The standard calls for a minimum 2 foot 0 inches articulation every 150 feet of facade length. The proposed facade on the north elevation meets or exceeds the standard over the majority of the facade with the articulation ranging between 5'6" and 36'3" over the length of the facade. Only one area of the facade, a 2-story office suite, exceeds the 150 feet maximum by 22 feet. 72 total length for articulation. However, the aesthetic of the entire building is comparable to a high-end office building. The 172 feet facade section includes a horizontal massing articulation of 1'1" from the ground floor to the second floor. High-end materials, including the aluminum composite panels and limestone cladding, and recessed window openings on the second level. The overall effect is aesthetically pleasing in line with the overall aesthetic of the adjacent buildings on the Henderson campus, maintaining a consistent look and feel of the neighboring properties.
Number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because
the nature of the proposed building design is a rigorous architectural module applied to program areas and optimized for both energy efficiency and natural daylight. The length of this facade area in question is a portion of the overall design criteria of the building, and we believe the high quality design materials and articulation is commensurate with the intent of the standard 3 by providing large varied articulation over the entire north facade of the building.
And number 4, the structure is not regulated under Indiana Code 8-21-10-3 for hazard air navigation. Variance number 2 to allow materials other than the predominant material in the front facade. We'll go through the statement of reasons on those. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because
Ms. Peters, I believe he read his answers to number 2 for the first one.
Just follow the script either way.
Looks like the only difference is number 2.
okay, so that the answer for number 1 is the same as for the last one. Okay, number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because
This is regarding the articulation of the first item, is that correct?
that was the first one.
Second.
Now we're on to the other than predominant material on the front facade.
The standard calls for the side and rear elevations to be clad in the predominant material of the front facade. In our proposal, the front elevations will consist of aluminum composite panels, limestone, and glazing, and the side and rear elevations are predominantly insulated panels, translucent fiberglass composite panels, and glazing. However, the aesthetic of the entire building is comparable to, again, the high-end office building. The aluminum composite panels and insulated metal panels have similar look and feel, including finish, smooth, and texture. The color white, again, that's to match the campus. The overall effect is aesthetically pleasing and aligns with the overall aesthetic of the adjacent buildings on campus, maintaining a consistent look and feel with the neighboring properties and uses.
And number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because
the nature of the proposed building design is a rigorous architectural model, like program areas, for both energy efficiency and natural daylight. The insulated metal panels used on the side and rear elevations represent a significant cost savings over the front elevation materials while achieving the desired thermal envelope performance. Planning the entire building in the front facade materials will be a cost prohibitive, and we believe high quality design materiality, and articulation of the building is commensurate with the intent of the standard E by providing a high quality material over all facades of the building.
And number 4, the structure is not regulated under Indiana Code 8-21-10-3 for hazard air navigation. The staff had some comments.
So staff was favorable of both of the variance requests. This is a part of a larger campus and will be in line with much of the adjacent properties. So we felt it would in no way harm the neighborhood properties, property values, or have any ill effect on the surrounding area. It does meet in staff's view, it meets the intent of our code, and it'd be a high quality building for this area of town.
Anything else you wish to add before we see if anyone else wants to speak?
Okay.
Okay. Others that want to speak?
If the owner's representative, if you'd like to hear from the owner.
If he has anything he would like to present on behalf of the petition?
Give an introduction and maybe put my name here, but just to conclude on those two variances that most of us were correct. This year. So.
And go ahead and state your name for the record online.
Yes, yes. So owner representative, my name is Addison Allen, and my address is 80.
You go right on that.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
Okay. All right. Now the petitioner, Mr. Davis, you're aware of the staff's proposed conditions that the final plans be substantially conforming to the site plans depicted in Exhibit C and the building of elevations in Exhibit D, and you're in agreement with that?
We are.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on this petition? Close the public hearing, and we'll go to the panel. Mr. Milburn, any questions?
No, I don't have anything on this.
Mr. Mull?
Yeah.
Mr. King?
No, pretty straightforward.
Mr. Knarzer?
Yeah, no questions. I think all the criteria were obviously very well presented.
Okay. Entertain a motion for admitting the evidence into the record.
I move that we admit all the evidence presented in regard to this matter, including the notices, receipts, maps, photographs, written documents, petitioner's application, attachments, petitioner's detailed statement of reasons, a staff report prepared by the planning department, certified copies of the UDO, and comprehensive planning testimony of petitioner, city planning staff, and their administrators, and all other exhibits presented, be they oral or written, for consideration by the board in regard to this position, and to include the testimony of those present this evening.
Motion by Mr. Mull, second by Mr. Milburn. Voice vote, Mr. Knarzer. Mr. Milburn.
Aye.
Mr. Mull.
Aye.
And Mr. King. I'm also an aye. Motion carries. Entertain a motion on the petition. The first one is for the to waive the requirement for articulation on the front facade. Anything with motion?
I move that we approve this request with the, the one condition. The final plans shall substantially conform to the site plan depicted in Exhibit C and building elevations depicted in Exhibit D.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Mull. Voice vote, Mr. Knutser,
Aye.
Mr. Mulbarn,
Aye.
Mr. Mull,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Motion carries 5-0. Request number 2 to allow side rear elevations to consist of permitted materials other than the predominant front elevation material.
I move that we approve this request with the previously stated condition.
Motion by Mr. King,
Second.
second by Mr. Milborn. Voice vote, Mr. Knutser,
Aye.
Mr. Milborn,
Aye.
Mr. Mull,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Vote carries 5-0. Motion carries 5-0. All right. Entertain a motion for the written findings of fact.
Let's see. Having considered the statutory criteria, I move that we direct the Corporations Council Office to draft written findings of fact regarding our decision on the variance request presented in variance petition number BZA 2023-027. Said findings specifically incorporate the staff report and evidence submitted to the record for consideration and adoption by the Board of Zoning Appeals as our final decision and final action regarding this petition at our next meeting.
Motion by Mr. Mull, second by Mr. Milburn. Voice vote, Mr. Knutser,
Aye.
Mr. Milburn,
Aye.
Mr. Mull,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Motion carries. You are permitted to continue and working with the staff on anything that needs to be done to comply.
Thank you very much.
We'll make our final action at our next meeting, but you can go ahead now. Okay. All right. Next thing up, new business from the floor. See nothing. Announcements.
None from staff, we're continuing to see agendas. So we'll be meeting, but I look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks. We got an extra week in there.
Do we have a full agenda?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Legal?
Nothing from legal.
Okay.
Ms. Peters?
Yes.
If Stevie, I will need them to email me the ballots so that I can sign them and bring them in this week or later this week or early next week.
Okay, got that? Anything else?
None for me.
We do expect to see you in a couple weeks, right?
I'll be there.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
You can stop the recording.